So during this call too, if you guys have a question, you could type it into the chat. Um, you can unmute yourself and shout it out. And again, don't be shy. If what I'm saying isn't clear, you don't understand it, there's probably other people who don't understand it too. So by all means, shout it out, ask your questions. Let's get clarity. Let's make sure you're understanding the numbers, the math, the things that we're doing. So let me ask you guys, who has the coldest temperature right now?
Well, I've been inside all day, so I'm pretty warm.
We do. It's like 54 degrees outside.
54?
It can't be us. We're in Mississippi.
36 here in Des Moines, Iowa.
48.
It's a sunny 50 degrees in Dallas.
Oh, I'm going to Dallas in a couple weeks.
Oh. For what purpose, Jerry, if I may ask?
The CCA convention, just got invited to that. So I'm
Oh,
excited to see what they have going on. Yeah, we're 46 below in Arizona. We start at 100 and go from there.
That desert.
At 29 degrees in Minnesota. No snow though. Oh, well, there's nothing then. I was with a flooring dealer in Minnesota cold, and it was perfect. I mean, weather was just fantastic for it's like 55 degrees the whole time we were there until Friday. We were leaving and the temperature dropped to 30 degrees. And he told us, he said, man, this is even cold for us. So that was bone chilling cold.
That's when you start making music with the joints.
All right, let's get the party started here. All right, everybody ready to go? Got a pen, calculator, some paper, take notes. This is going to be recorded. This is being recorded. So I'll probably put it up on YouTube for everybody, and you'll be able to catch up on any parts that you miss if you get interrupted by a customer or something. I always say customers are always getting in the way of us growing our business. So they have beautiful timing about them, don't they? I mean, they come in, if you get a hot meal on a Saturday, nothing attracts a customer more than lunch.
That is true, sir.
So the tools you're going to need for the project is a tape measure, a screwdriver, a pipe wrench, a hammer, or just a pad of paper, a pen, and a calculator. As I like to ask this question is, when you're going on a trip, what's the most important thing to know? It's the destination. Whenever you're plugging anything in, you know, we're going to Dallas, so I got to get flights to Dallas. I need to know the destination in order to get the flights. In order to map out my trip, I need to know where I'm going. So where are you going in your flooring business? How much did you sell in 2023? What's the total you would like to do in 2024? I mean, are you 750,000? Do you want to get over the $1 million hump? Are you ready to shoot for the $5 million hump? Talked to somebody earlier that had been in business for years doing 750,000. I always like to use about a 30% increase as a good goal. So whatever you're doing, just multiply that by 30% and add that to what you did last year. It's a good place to start. Where I would be more aggressive is depending on your opportunity. The person I talked to had been in business for 6 years. And he had everything in his foundation, every reason to be at 1.5 to $2 million. But there was very significant reasons why he wasn't at that point. And a lot of opportunity for improvement. So if you're somebody that's selling at a 30% margin and your closing rate is, 30%, 40%, those are significant opportunities for increases. If you're solid, you're at about a 50% closing rate, you're getting 40, 45% margins, you don't have as much opportunity. So what we always have to do is look and discover what are the opportunities for growth. Where is it that we can grow this business, and identify what's our best opportunities to grow that business. For a lot of us, it's going to be in marketing. So we're not going to do this, but everybody take a couple minutes to think about the goals for 2024. What's the company total? And you could break it down by your salespeople too. How many salespeople do you have? And break down their totals. I like numbers are important, and everybody says you should know your numbers. Sometimes we get in the weeds with our numbers. Understanding where you need to be at profitability wise, that is a difficult number to calculate and follow. I like to keep simple numbers, such as what is my total sales, what's my goal, how many sales did I do this month, and something I can measure from month to month, and something that I can use to help guide me in my business. Sometimes you keeping track of numbers just for the sake of keeping track of numbers, and it's so ridiculous, but it doesn't really guide you. If you're keeping track of some numbers and figures that don't help guide you into growing your business, then ditch those numbers. Do things that are significant to you. I do the same thing when it comes to goal setting. I think everybody has like a different method of goal setting that's meaningful to them. So there's 100 different ways that you can set your goals. What you got to do is find what speaks to you. One of the things I used to always do when I was setting goals was I would like to tell a story and say, all right, it's December 2024. Here's what happened this year. And I would write out a story of what happened that year. And then for me, it was, okay, what do I need to do to make this story come true? I don't recommend that for everybody. That's something meaningful that worked for me. A 30% increase in most cases. So here's some things to consider. How long have you been in business? What are your total sales for the last couple of years? Now we're in a big challenge. No doubt. I mean, for most companies did less business than they did the previous year. Okay. We were in the glory years of COVID. It's kind of funny to say that, but for business, COVID was excellent. And it was fool's gold for a lot of us because we were doing much better than we do under normal circumstances. But even before COVID, business was ramping up for a lot of us. I know we were having a record year before COVID hit. And once that did, we had one lagging month and then we took off and didn't look back for several years. So you got to consider that. And then consider what you've done over the last couple of years. And don't try to be safe with your goals. You need to pick something that is significant, at least at the minimum 20% more than what you did last year, or 30% more is what I recommend. You know, that's a starting point. I mean, God forbid you don't hit your goal, but you come close to it. That's still a significant amount of business.
You missed an amount there of the 153.50.
All right. So what is your profit margin? Again, is there an opportunity to increase your profit margin? Understanding the difference between a markup and a margin is really important. If that's something that you don't understand, you need to learn it. Reach out to me. You know, I won't charge you on that one or anything. Just reach out. Anybody can reach out to me and get a little bit of advice here. But if you don't really understand that, the difference between a markup and a margin and what you really can command, then you need to learn. And it's important to learn this. This is one of the most important things you need to learn in your business is how to identify what the profit margin is. Okay, so do your job costing, figure out your profit margins. So, and it doesn't have to be done on every job. It just has to be done enough so we can determine what price we need to charge. So we're making sure that we're hitting our margins. Okay. And, you know, for the way to get your profit margin is taking your profit that you made on your job and divide it by the amount that you charged. That's your profit margin. What's your closing rate? You know, many people don't know their closing rate. They're guessing at it. So closing rate is simple. Figure out how many leads you got. How many of those leads did you sold? That's your closing rate. Now, some people get into the weeds on the leads and say every phone call or everybody that comes into my showroom is an opportunity. Well, I'm sorry. If somebody comes in and turns around and walks out because immediately they determine they're not doing business with you for one reason or another, to me, that's not a lead. A lead is you got their name, address, phone number. That's a lead. That's determining your closing rate, your sales closing rate.
What are you doing?
So what do you do for marketing? All right. Everybody has so many opportunities that I identify for marketing. The biggest one is with your website, your pay-per-click, your SEO advertising. That is your biggest opportunity for marketing, but it has to be done by a really good company and it has to be done well, with good instructions. Okay. Don't trust anybody to do it. You got to make sure and understand what's going on. Lead that discussion, take their advice by all means, but you need to learn this. And this is something funny I thought about. I want to know how to speak Spanish. I don't want to learn how to speak Spanish. And I find that with a lot of the customers I have, they want to know the closing rate. They want to know marketing. They don't want to learn it. You're going to have to take the time to learn it. Just like I'm going to have to learn how to speak Spanish. If I want to speak Spanish, I'm going to have to take that time and make that effort. Marketing is the lifeblood of your business. Okay. You don't do anything without a customer. We are in the lead attraction business. Your goal is to get customers in the door, to get them calling you. Marketing is the most important thing in your business next to sales. Then we could talk about the product and the installation. Look, I can figure out how to service any customer, but it doesn't do me any good unless I can attract that customer. You know, the best chiropractor in the world isn't going to have any business if he doesn't know how to attract customers. You could be the best flooring person in your area and give the best prices. It doesn't matter if you don't have good marketing to attract customers. And it's funny, a knee-jerk reaction. Okay, the economy is slowing down, so a knee-jerk reaction a lot of people have is to lower their prices. It's one of the worst things you can do because you're not going to get more customers by lowering your prices. How do they know that you lowered your prices unless you have marketing? So what you need to figure out is your messaging and your marketing and how do you attract more customers? So what we're figuring out is what are your opportunities to grow your business? All right. Can you do better, more effective marketing? I mean, I don't know anybody that couldn't be better and more effective at their marketing. And again, that was fool's gold for a lot of the marketing companies. It was easy for them. They were getting you leads, getting you business, because there was a ton of business out there to be had. So it wasn't hard to get you leads and business. Right now, nobody's happy with their marketing companies because everybody has slowed down significantly. So everybody thinks it's the fault of the marketing company. It may be partially. I mean, they have an opportunity to do a better job for you, but we've been living on fool's gold for the last 3 years, and it's been easy for them. Now you got to tighten up and hold them accountable. So better sales presentation, absolutely. I mean, there's nobody that couldn't do something to improve their sales presentation. This is something I work at. Look, I sell consulting, and I'm always working on my sales presentation to improve my closing rate, to improve my presentation, to make it easier to understand. So understanding your customers and what they want, and make your sales presentation match what they want. It's not about you. They don't give a shit how long you've been in business and your reputation and all that. Well, they do. They're coming to you a lot of times for those 5-star reviews. But when it comes down to it, they care about themselves. So understand your customers and build that presentation to match their desires and raise your prices. Okay, we have opportunities to raise our prices almost in every situation, in where you can bundle, you can offer higher, more expensive goods. Everybody that has a budget will increase their budget if you're selling them the right way. So if you honestly and ethically offer them something that's better for them. You know, I always tell this story. I had a customer coming in looking for a carpet for $3 a foot. Why? Because they just came in from Home Depot. And one of the things we talk about is the reason that people are price shopping is because of the stores they went to before treated them that way and showed them things based on price. So they're used to shopping that way because of their other experiences. But if you don't treat them that way and you focus on, you know, how long are they going to live in the house? What goes with their decor? You help them decorate, help them find nice stuff. They'll raise their prices. You'll get the job over your competition who's cheaper than you because the experience with you is so much better. You gave them an opportunity to buy something more expensive. People are not nearly as price conscious as you might think. But you got to know how to sell them right. So what's the simple solution for getting unstuck in your business? Knowing your numbers. These are easy to figure out. What's your average ticket? Your average ticket, how many sales did you have last year? What was your total sales? Divide that number. That'll get your average ticket. Total sales. Oh, I got it out there. Total sales divided by total customers. So my total sales was 675,000 and I had 150 customers. My average ticket's 4,500. Okay. A lot of people don't know what their average ticket is. So do we have a opportunity to increase our average ticket? What's your closing rate? How many leads? And a lead is somebody, you got their name, email, and phone and address. And to me, a lead is somebody you have an opportunity to market to. So if you did an email campaign, you could market to a legitimate lead, somebody that showed interest. You got their name, email, phone, and address. How many of those did you sell? That's going to be what your closing rate is. So the sold jobs divided by the leads equals your closing rate. So if you haven't figured out your numbers yet, here's some basic numbers that you can go by. For the closing rate, I would use 40% as kind of an average closing rate. Somebody that isn't trained on sales, you're trying to figure it out. A lot of times I get high figures. People will tell me their closing rate's 80%, 90%. In most cases, when it's that high, it's one, you're not charging enough, and two, you're not tracking. And it's usually a combination of both, that you're not charging enough and you're not tracking. That's why you think your closing rate is 80 or 90%. I have Chris on with FloorZap too, and this is something easy to figure out. If you're a FloorZap user, all these numbers are going to be super easy for you to figure out. All right. The average ticket, if you don't sell carpet at all, I would put your average ticket at about 7,500. If you sell carpet and hard surface, I would put your average ticket at about 5,500. If you're primarily carpet, I would put it at about 4,000. So just to give you something to go off of if you have to guess. All right, for our exercise, we're going to choose 850,000 as our goal. Our average ticket is 4,500 and our closing rate is 40%. So let's say I'm a salesperson and I want to do 850,000 in 2023. You can do this as an individual or as a salesperson. Here's my goal, my revenue goal, 850,000. Average ticket, 4,500. So I need 188 sold customers to reach my goal. So my closing rate is 40%. So in order to sell 188 customers, I need 470 opportunities or leads. And that boils down to 39 leads per month. So we can track that and track our leads. Are we getting 39 leads a month to reach our revenue goal? And that's only about 9 leads a week. So that's a number week after week. You can track. Where are you at? Where are you at for the week? Where are you at for the month? You know, it's not hard to create a simple Excel spreadsheet. If you have 2 or 3 salespeople, you can put their names on there. How many leads do they have this week? How many do they have for the month? What are their total sales? It's not hard to create a very simple Excel spreadsheet that shows all this for you. So your magic number is 9. So our focus is on getting 9 leads a week. If you can do that, everything else will work itself out. So if my revenue goal is $850,000 for the year, and I'm focused on getting 9 leads, I know with my closing rate and my average ticket, I'm going to hit my revenue goal. It's really hard to focus on the sales number because you can't control that as much with the customers, what type of customers are coming in, what your sales are going to be like. It's hard to focus on it from a revenue standpoint, but lead generation is something that you can focus on.
Good. She's
Simply
working
do
on
the
your
math.
check right now.
It's something you can
Yeah.
measure week after week.
Sleepy?
Say hi.
That makes sense to everyone?
Yes.
So let's talk about some ways that you could reach your revenue goal faster. One is the easiest way, and that's to raise your prices. 2, increase our closing rate. How do we increase our closing rate? We get better at our sales presentation, better at the follow-up. You know, I know a lot of people still, they don't give a price in the home, and that's such a big mistake to email a quote to somebody. There is no reason to email a quote. Talking to people, they've been in business 20, 30 years, and they're emailing a quote. Man, if you've been in business 20 years, there ain't anybody more knowledgeable than you, okay? There's no reason you couldn't figure out quickly what it would cost a customer in the home. Trying to close in the home isn't a strategy for putting pressure on a customer and trying to close a sale. I look at closing the home as giving your customer an opportunity to get the job going. I know myself, if I want to do a project, I don't want to wait on a quote. I'm going to hire somebody that comes out there and gives me a quote because I'm ready to get going. And chances are I'm going to spend more money than what I was planning on spending, but it's okay because kind of like the sales guy, I like, you know, Mike, you can speak of this. You've been doing this system this way for a while now. And what a difference has it made for you to try and close in the home versus emailing a quote?
So much easier to close in the home.
customers are ready. You've got them in the comfort, they're in their own comfort zone in their home. And if you come prepared with measuring, quoting, and presenting, you're leaving with a jack.
Do you think it's more, do you feel like you're putting pressure on them, or do you feel like it's more giving them an opportunity to, let's get going? They're excited.
Giving them an opportunity to get going faster. Get them excited. Get excited with them, man. This is going to look phenomenal in this house.
Perfect. All right. Thanks. So raising your average ticket. So there's a lot of ways that you can raise your average ticket. One is raising your prices. Two is giving people an opportunity to honestly and ethically sell more expensive stuff. Look, in all of my training and everything I do, all my coaching, I don't teach people tricks on how to close deals. We don't teach you any sleazy tactics. I want you to honestly, ethically sell more expensive products and get the money that you're worth, and then produce a 5-star experience for your customer. So upsell. Now, I've never liked the term upsell, because to me, upselling is kind of a focus effort on selling something more expensive to increase the price in order to make more money. So I've never really cared for the term upsell, but you do sell things that are better, that are in their best interest, such as carpet pad. Sell them with a more expensive carpet pad because you know it's going to help the carpet last longer. It's going to feel better. Sell them better quality flooring that you know is going to, honestly, ethically, you know it's better. It's in their best interest. You know, you're not upselling to try and raise the price. Now, the whole purpose of the coaching and consulting that I do is to train you to have fun and enjoy your customer and decorate. You know, and that's what this is all about, is putting more of the emphasis on decorating instead of mechanically figuring out. And a lot of you guys come from an installation background, and this is one of the biggest challenges that you have, is when you look at a project, you're mechanically putting it together, and you kind of take the fun out of it. You know, you take the sex out of it. You know, we need to keep this fun and decorate and do a good job, do something that they're going to love. And I think it's one of the shames that installers, you guys work your ass off and you don't appreciate what an impact you made on a customer's life, you know, by putting in new flooring. I mean, they love it every day, waking up to it, every night coming home from work and having that new flooring. It's like coming into a new home, you know. But when you're doing it, you're thinking of it mechanically, of doing the job right. You know, you don't realize what an impact you're making on a customer's life. And if you sell that way, you're going to have more fun, and your customer's going to buy from you more often. So we can reach our goal faster by improving our marketing. And again, everybody has an opportunity for that. So let me throw out some marketing ideas for your company. SEO is very interesting. I mean, it used to be where SEO was part of the deal. All right. You would sign up for a website. It included SEO. You might be paying $500-600 a month. A few hundred of that was going towards SEO. Well, I don't know if it's been over the last year or two. And this is my experience. It could be wrong about this, but it seems like SEO has become a lot more expensive, but it's not as simple as what it used to be. So a company selling SEO marketing is charging maybe $1,200 to $1,500 a month. It seems more expensive. Advertising is only expensive when it doesn't work. So the cost of an ad is determined by its effectiveness, not the price. Pay-per-click traffic that's the best value. I mean, SEO might be there right now, but with pay-per-click traffic, you're paying for direct leads. You're paying for direct business. Okay. And these are my marketing opinions. I don't sell this stuff, so I'm not going to pitch you on any of this. But the fact is, if you do a print ad, you could spend $3,000 on a print ad in hopes that you get traffic, in hopes that somebody sees your ad at the same time that they're in the market for your product or service. With pay-per-click, they only click on your website. You're only paying for people that click on your website. You're paying for direct traffic. So there's no better marketing than that. And want to talk about $3 or $5 a click? Well, you know, if it's, let's say you're paying even $10 a click. Well, to spend $3,500, you're talking about 350 clicks. Okay. It'd be nice if it was that much traffic and there's that much interest in there. So it's not quite that good, but it's still far better than any other kind of marketing you could do, whether it's TV, radio, news, or print. Facebook paid advertisements. You could try hiring a company to do it for you. You just really have to stay on top of them, and you got to learn how to manage it yourself. Is it the best use of your time? There are people that are crushing it with Facebook. Facebook is a little bit hard to manage because good Facebook advertising is going to generate a lot of bad leads along with a few really good leads. So it definitely is a net win, but it's an aggravating resource. So if you're willing to put up with that aggravating resource, you can do Facebook paid advertising. Signs, banners. I love signs and banners because they're evergreen. And you know, when people come into your showroom, if you say, "How did you hear about us?" Sometimes they'll say, "Well, I saw your truck, I saw your signs, I drive in front of your showroom, and I saw you online." Or, you know, you'll find that it's the longer you've been in business, they heard about you multiple ways. But sign and banners are very inexpensive and definitely worth it to do. Keep your signs and banners simple. It's better to sell carpet than flooring. It's better to sell luxury vinyl or hardwood than flooring. Or it's better to sell tile than flooring. Think about it. When you're looking for carpet, you'll pass a store that's selling flooring because the customer that's looking for carpet won't even put it together that that's flooring, because they're looking for carpet. So if you can dumb it down as much as you can. Monthly newsletter to your clients and people you didn't close. I mean, contacting previous customers, that's almost nobody does that. And it's gold. There's nothing better than previous customers or even people that you didn't sell. They're in your funnel and reaching out to them. Maybe they decided to use somebody else. Well, guess what? If they're not happy with that person, that is the best referral you'll ever get, is somebody that didn't use you but wish they had. Sponsoring events in your showroom. I love anything that brings people into your showroom. So I've got a client that's just doing a fantastic job with this right now. She's in Utah. I mean, she is just doing phenomenal. We should clone her and her efforts because she's doing all sorts of events, a monthly event to bring people into her showroom. She's creating her own tribe, her own group of people that are business people. She will be the mayor of her town, and she's brand new to the industry. And the cost of this is next to nothing. In fact, she's able to charge the people to be a sponsor and come into the showroom. And then we have some other video ideas and things that she's doing. It takes a lot of work, but it's brilliant. It costs next to nothing. It's really, really good marketing. Appreciation events for fire, police, school teachers. Events are great because they live on. You have pre-marketing where you're marketing the event, so you're telling people about it. Then you have the event itself where people are coming out. And then you have the after event marketing where you're thanking people for coming out. So it's good publicity. It helps get your name out there. So as an individual, what are some ways that you I didn't emphasize this enough on, I want to go back to this, but Facebook, I should have a slide in here for unpaid advertisement, and maybe I do address that. But I make the point always, guys, to shoot the damn video. You know, people see my videos all the time, and it's funny when everybody references a video that I made. In fact, people reference things that I didn't do and they credit me with them. Because every day I'm shooting a video on a topic and it's something that you guys are usually interested or something that's going on. You could shoot a video about anything that goes on in your showroom, something funny, something short, something serious, doing things about pricing, doing things about quality of material. It doesn't always have to be a solicitation. One of my best video promotions was when I gave my daughter a bicycle for her birthday. I didn't have any place to hide the bike, so I put it on my table, my Car and Dean table, and I made a contest saying that, hey, sign up to win this free bike. Well, in the bucket was nothing but her name. And when it was her birthday, I had her pick the name and she was going to pick her name. So we shot that in a video and promoted that on our social media sites. I got business off of that. That had nothing to do with flooring. Okay. It was fun. It was just something silly, fun. The disasters, if you run into your garage door on accident, and we've all done that. If you get a delivery and people topple over the supplies, or you go to a home and you see something disastrous, nothing gets attention like a car wreck. Everybody wants to see a car wreck. That'll get the most attention. So anytime that there's something outrageous that you can promote and show, put it out there. Okay, so what are some other ways that you can prospect as an individual salesperson? So if you're working for a flooring company and I believe everybody should be part of the process of growing the business. So if you're a salesperson for that company, you should be attending some networking meetings. I made sure all of my salespeople were in a networking group. It's a good, healthy thing for them to do, is to go out there, promote the business, and give commercials about the company and build relationships. Chamber of Commerce, great for building relationships. The most effective networking group is BNI. They're expensive, they're a pain in the ass, but they're effective because they demand a lot of you. Chamber of Commerce isn't as effective, but it depends on how you are. If you're an extrovert and you love that stuff, you'll do great in the Chamber of Commerce. Facebook posts on your personal page. Look, there's no reason you can't tell people what's going on in your business. And we had a salesperson that did a great job promoting what was going on, talked about it all the time, and people just got to know him as an individual. Do your regular personal posts, but once in a while post something about your company, what's going on and what you're up to. So Facebook posts in community groups. The way to approach that, because you usually aren't able to solicit. So if you have a group, like we have a group called Go Gilbert out here, it's got over 100,000 people in it by now, I think. You could tell a funny story, show a disaster, show something falling off the truck, show somebody going into there. One of the best things you can do in those groups is ask for advice. I love that strategy. I go after realtors that way. When I was promoting the Home Seller Dream program, that was a program where people could get carpet for $100 down. And my target audience was real estate agents. I didn't tell real estate agents about the program. I asked real estate agents, hey, do you think this would work? Can you give me some advice here? Can you help me out on this? People love giving advice. They love helping you out. So, and usually what they'll say is, yeah, sure. When you get this up and running, let me know. So asking for advice on Facebook, asking anybody for advice. If you want to hire somebody, hey, what's the best place to go to hire somebody? You might find people in there that are interested in the job. You can ask them for training advice. I mean, one of my favorites is, let's say you change your logo. Anything you're doing marketing wise, put out 2 logos and say, which one do you like better? It's a great way to solicit without really soliciting. and people love giving their opinions. So the way to respond to people in those community groups, though, if somebody says, do you know anybody that does flooring? Don't offer a free in-home estimate. Don't tell them about your prices. Don't do any of that. The way that you respond in a community group is you send them a message and say, do you already have the material? Don't even introduce yourself. Just ask them if they have the material. They'll usually respond yes or no. And once they respond, now you have a conversation. But they have 30 people reaching out to them saying, hey, we do a great job. We get great reviews. And if you're one of those people, they'll ignore you. But if you ask them one simple question, do you have materials? They'll say yes or no. Bam, you've got a conversation. That's all you're trying to do is get a conversation with these people. So Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Snapchat, all this stuff works if you're good and consistent about it. I recommend you shoot videos on Instagram and share it to Facebook. I've done a ton of videos on YouTube. What I don't like about YouTube is YouTube and Facebook don't get along. So Facebook won't show your YouTube video near as much as they will your Instagram video. Okay, and the reels are really good. The reels keep you down to 90 seconds max. So if you shoot a reel on Instagram, you can share that to Facebook, and that's effective. So again, we're talking about individual salespeople. An individual salesperson, this is your business. You can do this. You can build up your own business. All right, I'll tell you guys a little bit about the 6-month accelerator program, and it really helps you get unstuck. And we find the people that do hire us are usually the ones that are stuck. They're stuck at $2 million, $3 million, and they just can't seem to get up to that 5 million. They can't figure out what that formula is. So our program is 6 months of coaching calls with me. We meet every other week, and sales training video program. These are 14 videos I have for your sales team, and it'll really help your sales team be better performers, help you guys close in the home. I'll help you guys with your pricing, help make giving the price easy. And I think that's one of the biggest formulas for being successful in the flooring business. Make giving a price easy. There's so much about pricing that is to your benefit that we avoid like the plague. And the more you go to it, the more successful you will become. 2 custom-made sales presentations. These really help you sell in the home. They show a customer exactly why they should use you, and they make a customer afraid to use somebody else. And you're not bad-mouthing the competition, but you're just telling them things, and you're showing them on a piece of paper. You're showing them what you do, and nobody else in your area does anything like that. As a bonus, I also give my 2-week sales training program. It'll show you how to train a new salesperson that is good at selling, that knows nothing about flooring. We can get them trained in 2 weeks to sell, do in-home sales in just 2 weeks for your company and close in the home. And then you can join our monthly. We have the SIATH group coaching, and SIATH stands for Something Amazing is About to Happen. So I came across that about 6 months ago, and since then I met the woman of my dreams, blew up my business. A lot of amazing things has happened since I adapted that mindset. But the group coaching call is a little less expensive, good for people that need some help. Maybe they can't afford the full 6-month program, but it's really good because we'll get on with a whole group and talk about all this stuff, and I'll help you figure it out. So in addition, I offer 100% money back guarantee on the program. If you don't 10x your money, I'll refund your money, and I guarantee that because I know it will work. All I ask is that you do what I tell you to do. If you do the things I tell you to do, I know you'll at least 10x your investment. You'll do a lot better than that. So I expect you to grow your business. I expect anybody that hires me to really grow their business over 30%. And we were in a little bit of a challenge because we came off such a good year with COVID into a bad year. So a little bit more of a challenge, but you're still capable of doing that. We do the right marketing and we have the right sales presentation and the right processes. If you'd like to see if the 6-month accelerator program is right for you, reach out to Deanna. She'll book a one-on-one discovery call with me, and then we can review where you're at and see if this is right for you. You go to Deanna at profitnowwithjerry.com. And then right now, just open it up. If you guys have any questions, how I can help you reach your goals or any questions for me, go ahead and shout them out and take a few minutes here to answer any questions. Don't be shy now.
Jerry, just out of curiosity, do you have templates for the metrics that you mentioned in the first of the presentation for the closing rates and all those things that people can actually use if that's not included in their Floors app or other software?
No, because it's simple. It's an Excel spreadsheet. It'd be easy to do. I show people how to do it easily. It's not really a template. I create a template for like your weekly sales meeting to track those things. So creating a template wouldn't be hard to do though. Something Chris and I talked about working on was creating a Profit Now program for Floors app. That'll make it easy for you guys. So hopefully we'll be in development soon, but
Jerry, we should have that ready to launch right around the first of the year, shortly after.
really, okay, perfect.
A Floors
First
app
of the year
site
is,
specifically
like in
for
2 days.
your clients.
Yeah, that's perfect. So I know those of you that use Floors app is just the easiest program out there to use. So I won't even get into the fact that it's, you know, a tenth of the price of everybody else, but it's one of the easiest ones to learn and use. And I want to work with them to make it even easier for you guys. So template it out. You know, one of the hashtag that I keep promoting and doing is don't overthink it. And that's one of the biggest challenges that people have with the program is it's so easy that people get caught in the weeds with the pricing and they overthink everything. And that's why people are not closing in the home. They want to go back, they want to make sure they get it right. And I think this is hilarious that we are trying to get the information correct. We're trying to get the prices correct in an industry with zero standards. There's no standards for the wholesale. All you guys are paying different prices wholesale. You know, everybody charges a different markup or margin. Everybody pays installers different. So what are we trying to be accurate for? You know, if you're trying to be accurate to make sure your margins are okay, that's easy to do. We can make sure we just charge enough. And then the other thing is treating customers as if they're price sensitive. You know, nobody has to do flooring. Most of these guys are doing flooring out of choice. They're doing the flooring because they hate what they have now. And a lot of them saved up the money or decided to do the financing. They decided to do the flooring at this time. So it's not about being price sensitive near as much. David. I didn't even know about that feature. You could raise your hand. Make me feel like a school teacher. Did you do that on accident, David?
Jerry, I have a question. How much is can you hear me?
Yeah,
How much is the program for the salesman? Do you have pricing?
So that program for hiring and training the salesperson,
What was the one you said that was like, it wasn't the 2-week one.
the accelerator program, the 6-month accelerator program is,
Yes.
yeah, that's either $2,000 a month, or you can do this for 3 months at 3,500, or one payment of 9,000.
So it's 3,500 for 3 months,
Yeah,
not per
Well-
the month?
no.
Okay,
So
thank you.
It's either we made it, we try to make it easier and easier. So we broke it down so you can either go $2,000 a month, or 3,500 for 3 months, or one payment of 9,000. So
And would that only be for one salesperson?
no. So great, thanks for asking this. So what you get with that is 6 months of coaching. The 2-week sales training comes as a bonus with this program, and you have that for life. It's not training one salesperson. It's a program that you can use anytime you hire a new salesperson.
Thank you.
You also have the sales training video program. It's 14 videos. You have lifetime access to that as well. So anytime you hire a new salesperson, you have them go through the sales training program. It's a little confusing, but these are 2 separate programs.
But the videos go with the one you said to me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if any of my clients are on, and then we had another program that we're not offering anymore. It's just a smaller mentorship program that didn't have the sales training videos. But anybody that got the 6-month program should have access to the sales training videos. And if for any reason you don't, just let me know so we can get you hooked up again.
Jerry's kind of selling himself short on this a little bit. He started with me, what was it, last week in August, 1st of September. With this program, he's outlining just a few of the things that he's giving or doing with you, but there is a ton more that he does with that coaching calls. He has helped me tremendously with bundling packages and many other things. So anybody that's not part of it that wants to learn, Jerry's smart. He's got this marketing thing down and been able to figure out how to sell quicker, easier, and to make it easier on your sales staff. The training videos are great too. We just hired a new sales rep this month in December. He's went through the sales training video program. Remarkably enough, he's already getting sales in the home. So they're not huge. Our leads are down, but he's getting sales. His closing ratio is good. But yeah, Jerry's selling himself a little bit short on this program. If you want more on it, definitely dive into it.
Thanks, Mike.
Absolutely.
Hey, can y'all hear us now?
Yeah.
There we go. Sorry. Yeah, so my question was, can you go back one slide, the information on how to go through the pre-discovery call? Forward.
Which one did you want?
There was one about if you're in, we wanted to try to schedule a qualification call or a discovery
Oh,
call.
this one?
That would be with
Yeah, there we
me.
go.
Yes.
There we go. All right, hold on one second. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, I love working with you guys. I mean, I find that it, for one, a lot of you have a lot of opportunity that's untapped. Um, I think one of the things that holds flooring dealers back the most is your knowledge about the industry, and your knowledge about the product, the service, the installation almost gets in your way when you're making it more complicated than it needs to be. So we try to dumb it down and package these deals and focus on giving a 5-star experience to customers. And really can. And that's the thing, like Mike's experience has been, a lot of people that I'm working with, we're packaging, I'll give you an example. We're packaging showers, and there's still a lot of new content I'm working on, just a ton of new content. So we're packaging programs for like showers. You could do a 3x5 shower for, it depends on you, your area and all that, but I'm trying to get higher prices for everyone. But for $14,997. And that comes with the shower install, any tile in our showroom, any door that you choose, the plumbing, a bench, the niche, and just put it all together for somebody so they get this spectacular shower, which is what they want when they're redoing their shower. But we're not worrying about being the cheapest price. We just, at a glance, they get information, and they're able to give you a call, ask you questions, have you out for an estimate, get more details. It really gets the thing rolling. And instead of the first person I did this for, he says, instead of nickel and diming me, that guy was like $6,000 or $7,000. I moved him to $12,997, and he's given a $2,000 discount. He says, instead of people trying to, well, let's take that out, let's take this out, he says they just focus on the material that they want. It's so much easier to sell and close. They already know what the price is. So we're working on some other things for the websites too. I want to try a pricing page, because I think if you give people the price, they are more likely to give them an idea of the price. You don't have to give anybody an accurate price. And anybody that has a calculator system, I don't like that system as much as just a pricing grid, just to give somebody an idea so they can get started. What I think's funny is if they compare you to somebody else, well, if you give them information, they're not going to get that information from anybody else. So you're going to have a much better opportunity to sell them because you gave them the information. And they'll be frustrated when they go shopping around. I had a customer do that to me one time. She came into my showroom. She says, I went to your website. I got all this information. It was really good. And then I went to another website. I couldn't get the information. I went back to yours. And I went to another website. Couldn't get the information and went back to yours. So you're the only person that's got any information out there. We did a secret shopper, and I even had my own company, Secret Shopped, but I hired this lady to do a secret shopper. I paid her $50 a home. This is a good plan. If you know somebody needs a little bit of money, it's a good idea. $50 a home, or $50 per company. Have them come out, give an estimate, and you can get a lot of data. But we were the only company that gave her a price in the home and followed up. Out of 20 companies, nobody else gave her a price in the home, and almost nobody followed up. So my hiring system has to do with follow-up. If you don't follow up, man, don't come to work here. Hey, Glenn, were you able to get on? Hey, Mike. Oh. Well, you're unmuted, but I don't hear you. We can't hear you, but you're unmuted on my end.
Looks like Glenn is still muted.
He said he can't unmute. He doesn't know what's happening. I don't know. I think I asked his question. I don't know if he had another question.
Oh, okay.
How's that?
Yeah, that's good. I can hear you now, Mike.
So that metric. And
Now you froze.
would you use that on any size company?
That metric, would I use it on any size company? Just as a base, like I said, everybody has a better opportunity or
Yes.
a different opportunity based on what you do. Like I've worked with some companies that are really solid when it comes to their closing rate and their profit margins, but maybe the opportunities in marketing. Some companies are just really solid with everything they're doing. So it's a little bit harder, you know, but I mean, as a starting point, I always use it with my own company. This is another thing we didn't get into, and I should have. What I did too is I always wrote my goals down at the beginning of the year. And then when I had a Shaw convention or I went to Surfaces, I took a copy of that to my rep at Shaw, to my reps at Mohawk. And I said, this is my goal next year. How are you going to help me reach my goals? You take those goals and you share them with your marketing company too. How are you going to help me get enough leads so I can reach my goals? Are you good, Mike? You keep freezing up. You're either unfrozen and we can't hear you, or you're frozen and we can hear you. This is technologically a bad day for my case. All right, guys, if there's no other questions, after a while, we'll get the recording. I'll share it with the group. And if any of you guys would like to have a one-on-one discovery call with me, and, you know, whether you're interested in the program or not, if you just have more questions, let me know, and be interested to talk to you about your business and see how we can help. Okay, everybody have a happy new year. Let's
Same
Reach
to
some
you.
goals
Thank
in
you. Happy New Year.
2024.
All right. Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry.
All right, bye now.